How OceanGate built improvised submersible from camping kit and video game controller. Again, the video game controller is kind of industry standard, but what do they mean built from a camping kit? Jesus Christ. I'm going to page 2 on Google. We're taking a chance. Just give me like a full play-by-play here. Holy shit. He's the prime Aerox. CBS posted a good video on this from David Pogg titled A Visit to the RMS Titanic. Okay, let me see. He said it's a total shit show? Oh, this is from 6 months ago. This isn't even that long ago.
Mate.
It has about as much room as a minivan.
So this is not your grandfather's submersible. We only have one button. That's it. It should be like an elevator. You know, it shouldn't take a lot of skill.
The Titan.
What the fuck? Those pictures don't do it justice. Oh my god, this looks miserable. Holy shit. And just a single button on board like an elevator. That does not inspire confidence. I want this shit to look like the Starship Enterprise with 1,000 different ways of controlling it. $250,000 in your crisscross applesauce in like a car trunk.
Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and today we're going to be looking at a submarine that apparently went missing in the last day, ladies and gentlemen. It's a submarine, it's a situation that's happening live as we speak, a situation where
Update
people
5
have been
is now
trapped
free,
so
and I
far
heard
underwater to the depths of the Titanic ruins, where they unfortunately don't actually have any ability to contact anybody because they're so far near the bottom of the ocean. And it's to a point where the oxygen supply on their hull is obviously dwindling out. It's a really, really scary situation, and it's one that's left me completely interested into how it's happened. So let's get started with exactly where we begin here. Now, if you follow the United States Coast Guard, you probably have seen the press release for the establishment of the Unified Command for the 21-foot submersible Titan, 900 miles east of Cape Cod. So yeah, this is a rescue mission going on for a submarine where the Canadians and the Americans are working together to make sure a couple billionaires and rich people are safe from a absolutely stupid trek into the bottom of the ocean that they took. Now, where was this trek to? Obviously, the Titanic. I don't think I have to describe the Titanic on my channel. It's a pretty famous story of a ship that absolutely sunk to the bottom of the ocean. One of the big failures, I guess you could say, of nautical exploration. But ladies and gentlemen, if you wanted to learn about the Titanic, Google is a great resource for you. So, of course, the U.S. Coast Guard put this information out there, said the Canadian Coast Guard, bunch of assets are en route to help save the people at the bottom of the ocean right now. You can even see they got like search patterns over here. Again, I'm not a Coast Guard expert. This is the pattern they believe is fit for exploration and recovery. And I'm going to believe what the U.S. Coast Guard says. They're professionals when it comes to this stuff. Now, the cause of this was a private company known as OceanGate Expeditions. Now, OceanGate Expeditions is a website that I really can't explore anymore right now. Like, trying to enter it is just literally, it's not even an accessible website. So thank God for things like the Wayback Machine, where we can actually see what they're about. Join the Titanic expedition. Explore the world's most famous shipwreck. A limited space available. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's probably a super expensive trip. 95% of the Earth's ocean is unexplored. You can change that. That's actually a true statement. We actually don't know much about these seas, the depths of the sea. Just like we don't know much about the stars. It's a wild world that we get into. See, going into the bottom of the ocean requires us to have vessels that can withstand the immense pressure of water at that depth, okay? It's not entirely easy. If you don't have a submarine capable of that, your submarine collapses in of itself and you die very, very, very quickly, very painfully, I would say. So expedition highlights over here, they've got, people going down, recording with their iPhones. Upcoming expeditions, so the Azores expedition where they explore hydrothermal vents. Awesome, 3 days. And of course, they've even got that classic feedback. Ocean Gate expeditions make you feel like a full member of the crew, and the experience allows you to participate in every aspect of the expedition. Okay, that's great. Now, Stockton Rush, who I believe is also on the entire tour as well. At the moment, he's also missing on his own ship. This person believes in their product so much that they joined down in the expedition, and unfortunately, they're also lost in the situation as well. Now, they actually end up charging $250,000 per person. Yes, it's a very unusual business. This kind of a trip is very much relegated to multimillionaires, billionaires who want to see the Titanic so far up close because, again, these are very, very rare things that only the hyper-rich and the elite can absolutely afford. Now, of course, you would imagine for a price tag like that, the security on such a ship would be immense. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dig up even deeper. Now, some people who've been following this have probably heard the fact that the Titan is an only 5-person sub in the world that can reach the Titanic depths, 2.4 miles below the sea, and it's also the only one with a toilet. God, I hope that actually exports out into the sea. I really hope people don't have to deal with these septic issues, especially if they're unfortunately in the case of almost dying in the situation. Now, yet, I can't help notice how many pieces of the sub seem improvised. That's not something you want to hear. With off-the-shelf components, piloting the craft is run with a video game controller. Yeah, you might have heard that. Oh no, they're using a video game controller to pilot such an elite ship. Actually, I got a video for you too. Right here, we can actually see them showcasing the inside of this Titan submarine. So this is it. This is for 5 people. Obviously, it's got some carbon fiber hidden around in the hull. It's got some windows to look out of. And of course, if we look inside, you've got some computers for understanding these ship systems and also connected to, I assume, cameras outside the ship so you can get a better idea of this Titanic that you're actually going to go see. That, not even kidding, is the fucking controller used to pilot this submarine. Now, of course, for any astute person, this is a Logitech F710 wireless gamepad. Now, you might be like, why would somebody use a wireless gamepad? Why the fuck would you bring a Bluetooth gamepad to the mix? Especially when, if you're going to be using a game controller in a submarine, it should probably be wired. You might be like, but Muda, why would you even use a game controller in the first place? And ladies and gentlemen, to understand, this is not something that's like super rare. To understand, even people that are in the military tell you that military sources around the world cite the same reason. Younger recruits are infinitely familiar with the user interface and ergonomics of a video game controller. And because Microsoft owns the Xbox brand, Xbox controllers are compatible with a variety of computer operating systems such as Windows. So in a way, a lot of things that are piloted, like drones, UAVs, robots, some of them will have like fully functional controls with Xbox, or game controllers. And the reality for that is, again, it's a lot simpler to use. Imagine when you're playing a video game and you're like, damn, I wonder if this is what controlling like an actual like anti-tank robot or anti-diffuse robot is like. That's probably reality in some cases. Using a game controller is not super duper weird. However, the problem with this situation is using a fucking wireless one, it seems. Because, ladies and gentlemen, when you're at such depths, radio communications, Bluetooth communications can be finicky. You know what isn't finicky? A wire connected between the controller and the actual system. That will never waver, okay? And if the wire fucks up, then you can just interchange it with another wire. Controller messes up, you can use a different controller. But again, this is just one of the problems that the actual submarine had. From what I understand too, the crew closes the hatch from the outside 17 bolts. So people who are inside the submarine get bolted in, which I don't know if this is necessarily the smart thing to do, From what I understand, water pressure alone should prevent you from even opening a submarine hatch underwater. I don't know why you necessarily need to bolt it in, but then again, this is a pretty massive depth